They thought you were going to stay broken. That is the part I need you to hear before anything else today. Somebody, a specific somebody, who was supposed to pour into you, who was supposed to be your safe place, your foundation, your first example of love. That person looked at everything they put you through, and they thought that was going to be enough to keep you down. They thought the wounds they caused, the environment they created, the things they said and did not say, the love they withheld and the criticism they gave freely. They thought all of that was going to define your ceiling. Look at you now. Not only did you survive it, you healed it. You went back and did the work on every single thing they broke, every wound they left open, every part of you that was told it was not enough. You sat with it, you processed it, you got through it, and you came out on the other side of all that pain, standing taller than anyone in that family ever expected you to stand. And now, they are upset because you were not supposed to make it this far, and the fact that you did is the most uncomfortable thing they have ever had to witness. So if you clicked on this title and felt something move in your chest, stay with me, because Spirit has a lot to say today, and none of it is small. Okay, so let me tell you what is coming through right now, because the cards are giving me this very specifically, and I need to pass it straight to you. There is a mother figure energy in this reading, okay? And when I say mother figure, I do not always mean your biological mother, although for some of y'all, it absolutely is. This could be an aunt, an older sister, a grandmother, a stepmother. Somebody in that older female authority position in your family is what I'm getting here. Put it where it fits, wherever you at, whatever your situation is. You know exactly who I am talking about. And this person is bothered right now. Not a little bothered. Deeply, personally, privately bothered. Because the version of you they are watching right now is not the version of you they planned for. They thought they knew exactly where you were going to end up. They had a whole picture in their head of your future. And that picture did not look like this. Did not look like thriving, did not look like healed, did not look like the goat of the family. The one everybody is quietly watching and learning from. The one who broke the cycle that has been running through that bloodline for generations. That was not in their plan for you, and your success, your healing, your peace, is offending them in ways they cannot even fully articulate, is what I'm getting here. Okay, now I need to talk about the underestimation, because this is the part that Spirit keeps pulling me back to, and I am not skipping it. This person underestimated you from the beginning, and I do not mean recently. I mean from the time you were young, possibly from the time you were very small. This person sized you up and decided in their mind what you were capable of, and what they decided was not much. Okay? They saw something in you, something bright, something different, something that stood out, and instead of nurturing that, they competed with it. Instead of celebrating it, they tried to manage it, keep it contained, keep you small enough that it did not outshine whatever they had going on. For some of y'all, this showed up as constant criticism. Nothing you did was ever quite good enough. Okay? You could bring home something great and they would find the one thing wrong with it. You could accomplish something real and they would minimize it or redirect the attention somewhere else. You could be visibly hurting and they would make it about themselves somehow. For others of y'all, it showed up as emotional unavailability. This person was just not there, not present in the ways that counted, not the soft landing you needed when things got hard. You had to figure out a lot on your own that a child should never have to figure out alone, is what I'm getting here. And for some of y'all, it was both. The criticism and the absence. The coldness wrapped in the occasional warmth, just frequent enough to keep you confused about whether the problem was them or you. It was not you. It was never you. Okay? I need you to receive that today. And here's what I also need to say. Because this part is coming through strong and somebody watching this specifically needs to hear it. You spent years, and I mean years, trying to figure out what you were doing wrong, going over things in your head, replaying conversations, wondering what you could have said differently, done differently, been differently. That would have made this person finally see you, finally choose you, finally show up for you the way you kept showing up for them. And the answer, the real answer, is nothing. Okay? There was nothing you could have done differently, because the issue was never your behavior. The issue was never your personality. The issue was never your choices or your words or how much you gave or how hard you tried. The issue was that this person had a wound of their own, a deep, old, unhealed wound that made them incapable of giving you what you needed. And instead of dealing with their wound, they pointed it at you, made you carry it, made you feel like their pain was somehow your responsibility to fix. That is not what a child is for. That is not what you were for. Okay? You were not sent into this world to heal someone else's brokenness at the expense of your own wholeness. And the fact that you eventually figured that out and stopped trying to earn love from someone who did not know how to give it, that is one of the most powerful decisions you have ever made. Put it where it fits, because somebody watching this needed permission to stop trying, and Spirit is giving you that permission today. Let me tell you what I also see in these cards, because this part is important and it is going to hit for a lot of you. This mother figure. They did not just underestimate you casually, there was something almost intentional about it. Like they looked at your potential and they felt threatened by it. Not in a way they would ever admit out loud, but in that deep, quiet, unspoken way where somebody starts working against you. Not because you did anything to them, but because who you are makes them feel the full weight of who they are not. That is a heavy thing to sit with. That somebody who was supposed to love you unconditionally was instead in quiet competition with you. And for some of y'all, that competition went far. Far enough that they said things to other family members about you. Far enough that they positioned people against you. Far enough that there were moments in your life where you looked around and wondered why the people who were supposed to be in your corner felt more like obstacles than support. You were not imagining that, okay? You were not being too sensitive. You were not making it up. You were accurately reading something that was real, is what I'm getting here. And the fact that you survived that environment and still chose healing, still chose growth, still chose to become something, that right there is not ordinary. That is extraordinary. And everybody in that family knows it, even if they have not said it out loud. Okay, so we got here, inner child healing. And I cannot make this up, because this is exactly what I've been feeling throughout this whole reading. You did the work, okay? Not the surface kind. Not the kind where you just said you were fine and kept moving. The real kind. The kind where you actually went back and sat with the little version of you that went through all of that, and you gave that child what they never got from the people who were supposed to give it. You became your own safe place. You became your own soft landing. You became the mother figure to yourself that you needed and never had. And I want you to understand how rare that is, because most people, when they grow up in that kind of environment, they carry it forward. They repeat the patterns. They pass the wounds down without even realizing it, because they never stopped to look at what was actually happening. They just kept moving and called it strength. You stopped, you looked, you did the work, and that decision, that one decision to heal instead of just survive, made you the cycle breaker in your bloodline, made you the goat of your family in the truest sense of the word. Not because you have the most money or the most status or the most accomplishments, although those things may be coming too, is what I'm getting here. But because you did the thing that nobody before you was willing to do. You faced it, you healed it, and you changed the direction of everything that comes after you. That is not a small thing. That is a legacy. Now, let me get into what is happening with this mother figure right now, because the cards are showing me her current energy and I need to give it to you straight. She sees your life, okay? She is watching, whether directly or through other people in the family. She has been keeping tabs, and what she is seeing is making her very uncomfortable. You could have a new car, a new place, a business you are building, children who are thriving, a peace about you that shows on your face and in how you carry yourself. Something has shifted visibly in your life, and she can see it, is what I'm getting here. And instead of feeling proud, which is what should be happening, what she is feeling is jealousy and guilt, and something that looks a lot like regret, even though she would never call it that. Because calling it regret would mean admitting she was wrong about you. And this is someone who does not admit when they are wrong. Okay? That is not in their character. So the regret just sits there, turning into resentment, turning into this low-grade, upset energy that she is carrying around and probably taking out on everyone around her. For some of y'all, she has been talking, okay? Telling other family members a version of events that makes her look like the one who was wronged. Trying to get people to see you in a certain way, trying to build a case out of old stories that she is the only one still carrying because everybody else has moved on, is what I'm getting here. And here's what the cards are confirming. It is not working the way she planned. The people who actually know you, the ones who have watched you do the work, the ones who have seen how you show up, they are not buying what she is selling. Some of them have already quietly shifted. Some of them have already started looking at her differently. The truth has been moving on your behalf even while you were minding your business and living your life. You did not have to fight that battle. Spirit fought it for you. And I need to add this right here, because this is coming through and I cannot hold it. There are people in your family, quiet ones, who have been watching you this whole time. Not saying much, not making it obvious, but watching. And what they have been watching is somebody who had every reason to become bitter and chose to become better instead. Somebody who had every reason to repeat what was modeled and chose to do something different. Somebody who had every reason to stay stuck in that family dynamic and quietly, without making a big announcement about it, just left. Not physically necessarily, but energetically. You removed yourself from the cycle. You stopped participating in the patterns. You stopped being available for the drama and the competition and the toxicity. And those quiet family members, they see it. They may not have the words for it, they may not have said it to your face, but they see it, and some of them are taking notes. Some of them are watching you and thinking, maybe I can do that too. Maybe there is a way out of this. Maybe healing is actually possible. You are somebody's proof that it is possible. Whether you know it or not, your life is a testimony that is changing people around you. That is GOAT energy. That is what it actually means to be the greatest in your family. Not the loudest, not the most aggressive, the most healed, the most free, the most willing to do what everyone else was too afraid to do. Is what I'm getting here. Okay, we got here. Glow up and confirmation, okay? Because the good news coming into this reading is real and it is specific. Something is coming for you financially, is what I'm getting here. Could be a new income stream, could be a raise, could be money coming in from a direction you were not fully expecting. Could be a business that is starting to take off. Whatever it is, abundance is moving in your direction, and it is connected directly to all the work you've been putting in quietly. All the seeds you planted in seasons when nobody was watching and nobody was clapping for you. And the timing of this is not lost on spirit, because the money and the establishment and the elevation, it is all arriving at the exact same time that this mother figure is watching. She is going to see it. She is going to have to sit with it. She's going to have to watch you become everything she told herself you would never be. And she will not be able to say a word about it, because the results speak for themselves. And results do not argue with opinions. Your success is your testimony. And it is being delivered on time. I need to say something else before we get to the signs, because Spirit keeps pressing on this, and I feel like somebody specifically needs to hear it today. You are not what happened to you. You are what you did with what happened to you. And what you did was refuse to let it be the end of your story. You refused to let someone else's inability to love you correctly become your definition of what you deserved. You refused to pass the wound forward. You refused to stay in the version of yourself that pain built. And you did the work to become the version of yourself that healing built. That version, the healed version, the free version, the one standing here right now having come through all of that, that is the GOAT. Not because life was easy, because it was not easy, but because you made a decision somewhere in the middle of all that hard that you were going to become something, that the trauma was going to stop with you, that the cycle was going to break at your feet, that your children, or the people who come after you, were going to inherit something different. You kept that promise to yourself, to the little version of you that needed somebody to fight for them. You fought. You won. And now you are standing in the proof of it. Let that mother figure be upset. Let her watch. Let her sit with every underestimation she made about you, while you live the life she did not think you were capable of building. And here is the last thing I want to leave you with before the signs, because this just came through and it is too important to hold back. Forgiveness does not mean access, okay? I need somebody to receive that today, because for some of y'all, this mother figure is going to try to come back around. She is going to feel the shift in her own life. She is going to watch your glow up. She is going to see the elevation. And she is going to decide, now is a good time to reconnect. Now is a good time to play nice. Now is a good time to act like the history between you does not exist the way it does. And you are allowed to be healed and still say no. Okay? You are allowed to have forgiven somebody in your heart, completely and genuinely, and still not open the door back up. Forgiveness is for you. It freed you. It does not obligate you to give this person access to a table they did not help you build. You can wish somebody well from exactly where you are, which is far away from their energy. And that is perfectly fine. Your piece is not negotiable. Your table has limited seats. And those seats belong to the people who were there during the building, not the ones who show up when the building is done. You are the goat of this family, and the goat protects their energy. Period. Quick signs check before I go. And I need you to stay with me through this because Spirit is getting specific right now. Water signs showing up heavy in this reading: Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. If your name starts with a C, an S, or a K, names like Crystal, Simone, Keisha, Camille, Selena. This reading was sitting in your energy today specifically. You are the one who felt everything in that household that nobody else was willing to acknowledge. You are the emotional processor of your family. And your healing is healing more people than you even realize. Earth signs strong in this reading: Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Names starting with T, V, or D. Names like Tiana, Destiny, Vanessa, Diana. You are the builder. The one who took a broken foundation and built something solid on top of it anyway. The one who figured out how to create stability for yourself when nobody modeled it for you. That is not ordinary. That is generational strength. Fire signs underneath all of it: Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Names starting with L, A, or R. Names like Leah, Aaliyah, Raven, London. Your fire is what this mother figure could never extinguish, no matter how hard she tried. She saw it when you were small, and it intimidated her then. It is blazing now, and she cannot look away from it. Air signs in the mix: Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Names starting with J, N, or M. Names like Jade, Nia, Morgan, Jasmine. You are the one who saw through the dynamic early, who understood what was happening before you had the language for it, who processed quietly and moved strategically. Your awareness is your protection. These could be your signs or their signs. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If this reading found you today, it found you because you needed confirmation of something you already felt in your spirit. That what you survived was real. That what you built from it is real. That where you are headed is real. And that the person who underestimated you is going to have a front row seat to every single thing they said you could not do. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is one thing you have accomplished that the mother figure in your life never thought you would? Write it below, because that comment section is about to be the most powerful testimony wall you have ever read. And somebody scrolling needs to see your story today. Share this with the person in your life who is healing from family wounds and needs to be reminded that surviving it was just the beginning. Subscribe because every single week Spirit shows up in this space for the cycle breakers, the healers, the ones who became the goat of their family by doing what nobody before them was willing to do. I will see you in the next one. Keep going, keep healing, keep building. You are always the one. They just were not ready to see it.